Could somebody have told me, saying exactly the thing that I would need to hear? Could I have made changes earlier and prevented my partner and I from going through so much pain? I'd like to think that the answer is yes, but I also know the evidence on the table is such that probably not. So yeah, if a woman has sent this to you, I don't know what it's going to take for you to really hear her. I know that for me, I was lacking, and I think many men lack this, a curiosity. I took feedback as negative criticism, that something was wrong with me. And when I think about that now, I think, oh, it's because I already believed something was wrong with me. I mean, that's the truth. And so when somebody would speak truth back to me, it hurt. And I didn't want to look at that pain. So it was much easier to disregard it and push it away. So I think in some respects, men's behavior on this front isn't irrational, right? Pain is hard. We don't necessarily want to engage in pain. But oftentimes as men, we also embrace this idea in culture that to be a real man is to be brave, is to be courageous, is to take on pain. And we think about those things in terms of physical exertion. We think about that in terms of protection. But the bravest thing you can do right now, sir, is to actually look at yourself in the mirror and really, really be humble about what the people around you who are closest to you, who really care about you, have to say about you and what they see in you. And what they see in you is probably mostly good. But there are some things we need to work on. There are things about you that you don't know that other people know about you. I think when you are in a place of privilege, and I know men don't like to think of themselves as privileged. Privilege doesn't mean you haven't earned things. It means you haven't had to work as hard as other people to get to where you are. That's it. That's as simple as that. So you, sir, I'm sure have worked very hard. You are worthy of respect and dignity. As a man, one of the things I most wanted for the longest time was just to want to be needed. I wanted to be respected. I wanted to be esteemed. I wanted to be loved. Mostly, I wanted a place to belong. So if somebody sent this video to you or any video to you, there's a good chance it's because they are trying to welcome you, encircle you, and hug you back into belonging because they feel like they've lost you. And here's the thing I didn't understand for the longest time. My partner was trying in the ways that she knew how to find ways to fold me back into relationship with her. And when she did that, sometimes I think I sabotaged it. Because I think deep down, I hadn't yet understood that I was worthy. And I wanted that validation from someone else. And that's not how it works. Again, I thought if my partner would just tell me, if she would just speak up for herself, she would just tell me X, Y, and Z, don't make me guess, just let me know exactly what you want, I'll do those things because I care about you. But if you really care about someone, they shouldn't have to spell out X, Y, and Z. We should already be paying attention. Here's the kicker, and I really hope that anyone has the bravery and the courage to hear this part. For my partner to get to the level of extreme clear, concise language about exactly what she would need, she had to no longer care what my answer was. Because if she came to me and said, I need this from you, and I dismissed it like I often did as my default behavior, like that's nice, but we could talk about it later, or I don't agree with that, like here's the reasons why it doesn't count, or that doesn't make any sense, I'm not going to listen to it. All of that hurt her at a core level, soul-destroying, candle-blowing out level. The first step in the destruction of a relationship is that the woman or whoever the offended party is starts to withdraw. They stop talking to you because to talk to you is too painful. On my part and on many men's part, we don't even notice. We just think, oh, well, at least we're not fighting as much right now. Things must be getting better. In fact, some of the times I thought our relationship was doing the best is actually when my partner was doing the worst. And so after years had gone by and she did get to a spot where she's like, this is exactly what I'm going to do. This is exactly who I am. This is exactly how I'm going to move forward. It also came with this other piece of, I actually no longer care whether you get on board or not. And that is the moment I woke up. I wish it was different. I wish I could say, a woman sent this to you, please listen up and just hear it. I'm trying to tell you that there are men who will listen. There are men who are listening right now. If you've made it this far, you can still be one of them. But here's what I've learned 40 years into life. What is coming for you is coming for you. And so you have an opportunity right now with somebody that you love to look at yourself in the mirror, get feedback, make change, maybe sign up for a therapist, like really start to address the trauma that you went through. It's not your fault. I need to tell you that. It wasn't your fault. But if you refuse to do something now, it will be. The thing is, guys, I was talking to my partner about this today. We as men, we are needed. We are just filtering our experience through self-centeredness. We think I need to be needed by this one person, or this person I've been in a relationship with. If they only would build me up and show me more gratitude, then I would be fine. Ask yourself that question again. If you would be fine if you received those things, maybe it's possible you can get them from yourself. And maybe it's possible that to put that burden on somebody else, you might be ruining the thing that you claim to care about most. Looking back, many of the things that I said I would have done better if only I had known, guess what? The information was there. Like, I could have looked it up. I could have had the humility to go ask people. Would those things have been easy? No. But would they have been brave? Again, there will be people who watch this and say, that's not me. That's not me, because it's too uncomfortable. What happens when we get defensive is because something's getting too close to the thing that's causing us pain. What I wouldn't give to go back in time and implement some of these things I have learned through immense hardship, being the cause of enormous pain to my partner. Guys, like, it's my plea that if any of this resonates with you, and beyond that, if any of this resonates with your partner who can see you, we might have the humility and the courage, sit in that discomfort, and then act, do something. You might not be able to make the change overnight. You may not be able to let your tight death grip on this notion of respect just go immediately. But these are things you can work on. There are steps we can take. I've spoken about how therapy has been a very helpful tool for me. But you know what the most effective tool is? It's curiosity. It's just moving through the world in a way that says, I don't necessarily have all the answers. So I'm going to move forward gingerly, step by step, with my eyes open, and trying to ask questions about what other people's experiences are like, about the impact of my behavior. Sometimes the way we see ourselves isn't how anybody else sees us. We can do this, guys. Not only are we capable, but our partners, our lovers, the women in our life, our moms, our sisters, our coworkers, they deserve this. I think that the level of our pain is so far outmatched our skill level to be able to hold it by ourselves, because we were never meant to hold it in isolation. You are worthy apart from your performance. But when you start to know that you hold worth and value, your actions should follow. If we are hurting people, if we are ignoring the people we love most, if we are super defensive and on edge, it means something's not right, that we're really not doing well. And for the longest time, I was told as a man that I'm not supposed to pay attention to how I'm doing. But we need to, guys. We need to. Society does need us, but we have to stop thinking about it in terms of what do I get back in return. This is not transactional.